Today, an adult Allosaurus is on the move. The crimson crest atop his head distinguishes him as a male. He appears to be a newer adult. His body lacks the scarring that comes with experience. His advancing footsteps startle a young Stegosaurus attempting to drink water. The juvenile flees. Instinctively, the Allosaurus gives chase. The young Stegosaurus quickly shoves her way into the prickly undergrowth. Although the predator is quite close, she remains still. He knows that she's nearby, but he is unwilling to risk injury to his sensitive nose and eyes for a prey item so small. His growing frustration is evidenced by a small vocalization. In this situation, it's crucial that she remains still. The earthy tones of her hide act as great camouflage. Without the possibility of an easy meal, the Allosaurus decides to move on. She's just a baby. Her chances of survival are slim without the protection of a herd. Cautiously, she listens for the sound of returning footsteps. But she's in the clear, so she takes off. Her mission is a simple one: find others of her kind. The heat of the afternoon sun is making her thirsty. Luckily for her, she can sense water nearby. Bodies of water such as this one can pose a risk. There's no telling what lurks below the surface. Fortunately for this baby, the heat of the afternoon has driven most predators into hiding in order to conserve energy. After several days of intermittent wandering, she comes across a pair of peculiar creatures. They are City-Patty, a bird-like omnivore. Our young Stegosaurus has grown large enough to no longer be on the City-Patty's menu, but she instinctively remains cautious. The feathered duo pays her no mind. They're more interested in drinking and bathing in the warm rain. The young Stegosaurus decides to keep to herself since the noises of the City-Patty are unfamiliar to her. Still, she's curious. She takes a moment to watch from the safety of the trees. But she can't delay here much longer. Her belly is nearly empty, and she must find something to eat soon. With her keen sense of smell, she finds ripe berry bushes. Sweet and full of nutrients, she digs in. With her stomach satisfied, she can now rest and gather her energy. But being alone, she doesn't rest for long. She ventures back out into the nighttime rain and hazards a sip from the nearby body of water. Instead of returning to her sleeping spot, she wanders in the dark. A mother Stegosaurus would have encouraged her to bed down in safety, but without the protection of an adult, she gives in to the impulse to explore. It's the city patty bear from earlier. Now in the open, both parties can get a better look at each other. The little Stegosaurus isn't quite sure what to make of the feathery dinosaurs. They don't attack her. But they also don't flee. She invites the oviraptorids to play. But they can't quite make sense of the spiky-looking creature in front of them. Unfortunately, there seems to be a bit of a language barrier. But still, despite their lack of playfulness, she decides to follow the feathery pair. Could this be her new herd? As the newly formed group drinks, the city patty alert to an unfamiliar sound. Our young Stegosaurus is also unsure of what it is. As the pair call to each other, she follows them, attracted by their unique sounds and flurry of feathers. The small group moves safely away from the water. She's definitely a third wheel, but for now, the pair continue to tolerate her presence. She once again invites them to play a game of chase. Though the two adults are curious of her, her request goes unanswered. The city patties settle down under a tree. But the little Stegosaurus's stomach is once again rumbling. Impatient and a bit bored by the lack of activity, she ventures away to satisfy her hunger. While she's gone, the feathered pair has regained their strength. It's time for them to move on. The little Stegosaurus doesn't notice as the pair leaves the area. She's too busy indulging in a small cache of tubers. They contain good amounts of fiber that will keep her full for a while. She takes a snack with her. Whether to share, show off, or simply to have something to eat for the future, it's hard to say. Unfortunately, with legs much longer than hers, the city patty have outdistanced her. She can't find them. Tuckered out, she beds down next to the closest thing to a Stegosaurus that she can find. It's been several weeks. She has been unable to find others of her own kind and still has quite a bit of growing to do. Unfortunately, she's been discovered by 2 adolescent Dilophosaurs. This is the first time she has felt threatened enough to wield the sharp thagomizer at the end of her tail. She's not very confident with her weaponry and attempts to hide in the bushes, but the Dilos are quick and persistent. They drive her back out into the open where it's easier to target her vulnerable head and sides. She's able to land a few blows, but the predators are undeterred. She's losing blood, fast, and her hunters are fully aware of that fact. They keep her cornered and make loud calls to keep her disoriented. As the battle drags on, she's growing weaker. Her reaction time is slowing. Despite her best efforts to survive, her time has come to an end. Hey all, I hope you enjoyed this story. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share to let the algorithm know that you enjoyed this type of content. Thanks for watching. Later.